Hi there, welcome back. So straight into the video today, we're going to make some more coasters. Beautiful molds here, very simple, just some round coaster molds. We bought these from The Range, which is a high street brand over here in the UK. Right, going to try and incorporate maybe some mica powder, maybe some beautiful violet coloured pigment, resin pigment, and who knows, maybe a bit of glitter. So going to use this Apex resin. I realised, silly me, I used the fast set version rather than their regular Apex resin. So yes, they cured nice and quickly though, so that's a good positive. It didn't even click to me that I was using the wrong one when I was mixing it, thinking, this is very thick and very full of bubbles. But here we go, we've got some Arteza mica powder. I think that was it was called Bubble Bath. Apologies for the lighting suddenly going very bright. Wrestling with overhead lights and natural light coming in through the windows, but anyway, let's make the most of the sunshine while we can. Gorgeous colour mica that is in there. And then we've got this one, which is it's just a violet-y coloured, I call it violet, some people call it lavender, some people might call it purple, resin pigment. It was from a Scoops haul when Resin Jules and Helena from Resin Detra Supplies used to do their scoops. I think they're still doing them. I think they're having a rest for the moment, but hopefully they'll be doing them again soon. And then this is a mix between a glitter and a tint. It's very, very fine indeed. I think that was called Sunkissed, again from Helena at Resin Detra Supplies and Jules from Resin Jules. Look at that, it's beautiful. And then this last one, we're going to put some white acrylic paint in, just a small amount. It's by Pebeo Studio Acrylics, one of my favourite paint brands. Right, so just mixing them all up really thoroughly. Now, bits of this video will have been sped up because you don't need to sit and watch me mixing paints up for 3 or 4 minutes at a time. Got a separate little plastic mixing pot here, and all I'm doing is I'm layering up the different coloured resins now, one by one. So it's going to be like a layered pour or a dirty pour. Don't know if you've heard those two expressions before. You will if you follow acrylic painting or fluid artists, because they quite often do layered pours, dirty pours, tree ring pours, fantasy pours, all those kinds of things. So just following on from that, I wanted to see if it would work, because don't forget this is a much thicker resin, so I wasn't expecting it to move very much. And I've just poured it in to the first of the 4 coasters there, and then just helping it move around a bit, because I didn't want to use a heat gun, just wanted it to move around because I wanted to try and see if these would stay more or less looking how they did when I first pour them in. Wanted to try and get a pinky coloured golden sort of glittery geode almost effect. So I've just sprayed the mould there with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. Now, one complete of these little plastic mixing jugs full made the bottom of 2 of the coaster molds. It filled them. So as in by fill them, I mean it just touched the sides. It's literally like a couple of mils deep. And here they are, all 4 of them. Look at that. Now, when it got to this stage, I thought to myself, there's way too much purple in there, Laura. Way too much purple for what I'd originally intended this for. Now, this is literally, I actually left these till the following day, but after 2 hours they were completely cured. My original train of thought and theme and idea was that I was then going to put these beautiful round circles of crafting card in on the top, because I thought they were going to be a lot more pink than they are, and of course they're not. The overpowering colour there is the purple, and it just wasn't going to work. I mean, I'd got 6 beautiful round circles of crafting card there that I'd carefully done, and if you haven't seen me prepare those, why not look at our playlist, because last week's video actually showed me using them, because I didn't waste them, I kept them. But there we go. Look at these from the underside. They look fantastic. It's just a real shame, I'll be very honest, spoiler alert here, I do actually cover them up in the end. There's lots of things in this project I'd do differently if I had the chance again. I'm just going to demold them to show you what they look like. These remind me a little bit of like the geode semi-precious crystals and stones and things that you can get. You might have seen amethyst geodes or agate geodes slices and things like that. Very much reminiscent of those. And again, I'm just seeing, will this work? Won't this work? The idea I was trying to go for here was like almost like a double-sided coaster, so you could use them either way. What you could also do is then just make these, so these are very thin, they're not the full depth of the mold. You could make up a few of them and then put them down the right side up and just secure them, basically glue them down to the bottom of a tray, the right side up, so maybe sort of a wooden tray or something like that, and then cover them completely in clear resin. So you're encapsulating what you've already made into the base of the tray, and you'll get a beautiful display. Now, I decided, right, I'm going to put these lovely bases back into the molds. I'm going to do a bit of a decoupage thing because I seem to be in love with that technique at the moment, and all kinds of mixed media, maybe get some of these beautiful butterfly stickers. Now, these were what they termed as 3D butterfly stickers. It just meant they've got a foam pad underneath on the body part of it. I removed that because otherwise they'd be too tall. Now, taking apart the paper napkin, these were 3-ply napkins. Again, bits of the video have been sped up because, to be honest, otherwise you'd have seen me wrestling with this for a good 5 minutes. So these are 3-ply napkins, and when you're doing decoupage with paper napkins, you only need the top part, so the top one piece of it with the printed pattern on. And this is me just lining it up over the coaster, the base of the coaster, trying to decide which bit of the napkin I was going to use. Love these napkins. I cannot link in the description box where you can buy these from, I'm afraid. We got them from an independent like mum and dad business run garden centre, which is called Fairview Gardens. It's in Gloucestershire here in the UK. If you happen to be in the UK and you're out that way, go and visit them. Beautiful independent family run business, stunning plants, stunning pots, and really beautiful coasters, napkins, trays, lots of beautiful interior decor pieces and accessories there as well. Also got a really lovely tea shop and a very friendly mum, dad and son run it as well. They're there to give you all kinds of advice that you need on gardening and other things. So there we go. So as you can see, I'm using a PVA glue and water mix there. So it's quite a runny water mix just over the surface of the resin coaster base, the base part of it, and then applying the napkin and then just going over, smoothing it on with a paintbrush and applying a bit more of that PVA glue water mix. Now, problems here, lots of creasing in the napkin because the resin base of this coaster, where I didn't fill the mold completely, has shrunk back slightly from the sides and created like almost like a natural barrier around the edge. Great when you're doing top coating and doming of these, which you'll see me do later, but not so good when you're trying to apply the decoupage part, as you can see. But there we are, all nicely done and dusted. The only thing I'm a little bit saddened about is in the finished pieces, I wish I had a lot more white on the base of the coaster. So this is the following day. I let them dry out completely overnight. You need to get rid of the excess napkin there. Now you can get off a lot of the excess using some scissors. And then I'm going in here just cutting off a piece of, this is wet and dry 240 grit sandpaper, and just going around the edge there like that. Just so we're going from the top to the bottom, just over that ridge on the edge of the coaster there, and then you're able to remove the majority of, if in fact I think I managed all of it, to remove the excess paper napkin. So again, using some Mod Podge, but you can use whatever glue you feel happy using, and I'm going to work out where I'm putting what butterfly sticker I'm putting where, and then apply them using the Mod Podge. You see, there you go. So I just think that these napkins would have looked a lot better had I put them onto some bases. The coaster base was more cream or white. And there we go. So just applying a liberal amount of Mod Podge. This is neat Mod Podge. I haven't watered it down with glue. I haven't watered it down with any water. Decided where I wanted to do it, and then just applying some pressure. Just kept my fingers down on that just for a few moments there, trying to get it to adhere completely to the surface of the coaster. There we are. Just apply a bit more pressure. I did then go on and do the rest of them, and then I put a little weight on top of each one and left them to dry for a few hours. Went back. This resin here, now this is regular resin. This is not my top coat resin. This is regular resin because we've got that ridge around the edges, and the doming wasn't going to work if I just tried to go straight in with the doming. I was a bit concerned as well. So I popped them back in to the silicone molds and applied some of, or just poured in some of that resin. It's just regular epoxy resin, 1:1 mixing ratio. I think this one was Tea Expert. We used a little bit of that rather than the Apex. Apex Pure Pro, absolute hands down favourite one for doing doming and top coating. But this was like an interim coat of epoxy resin. So there we go. Just putting that in, made sure that a whole of the butterfly was coated. And this is 24 hours later. It's completely cured. So very happy with the results. Very happy. Look at those. We still can see a little bit of the creasing from the napkins there and there, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. These napkins will be up for sale at the craft fair that we're attending in June. There'll be more, so that's the first Saturday in June. We'll be at a craft fair. We haven't decided. We're actually booked in for 2, so we've not decided which one of the 2 we're going to attend yet. But more details of that will follow if you check out our community page. I'll put the information in there when we've made the decision, which will be within the next couple of weeks or so from when this video is released. So if you're in the UK and you happen to be in our neck of the woods, as they say, in the southwest, and you fancy visiting a craft fair, we'll either be at the one that happens in Chipping Sodbury or the one that happens in Corsham. So it's down in the southwest of the UK, of England. So just demoulding these, just checking the outer edges, making sure that we're happy with the cure. Now there's a tiny little bubble. A tiny, tiny little bubble. But it's a bubble and then it's burst. So we've got a hole there. So you can't just say, oh no, the bubbles are lovely. Because the bubble is at the surface and it's burst. So you've got a little hole. We need to fill that hole in, so I've gone in with a very fine grade of sandpaper. Again, it's a 240, and just lightly rubbed over the surface to get any raised ridge edges around that little hole to make it nice and smooth. Now, the undersides of some of these, the resin did leak underneath, so as you can see there. And so what I did is I sanded them, and I used a machine that I'd forgotten we'd got. So here is our little machine here. It's available via Amazon. If I can find the link still, I will put it in. It comes with some Velcro round disc sanding discs, various different grades. And then that little button there, knob on the side I'm turning now, controls the speed. Now this machine goes very, very fast to start with and gets even faster if you turn it up. Now, please, please be careful of your fingers. Do not do what I did at my next project after this one, where I needed to sand some things and cut your hand. So always make sure, like with everything, whether you're using epoxy resin, eco resin, whether you're sanding, whatever you're doing, make sure you're taking the appropriate PPE precautions. Now, you can see here, there's 2 sets of coasters. So those eagle-eyed of you will know that the pink ones I did on last week's video. The purple ones obviously are this week's. And this resin here is by a company called Apex. You can get it direct from them, or you can get it via Amazon. I believe we purchased ours through Amazon. It's the Pure Pro. And oh my goodness me, as I've said before, I can't rave highly enough about this resin for doing top coating and doming effects. So great if you make a lot of jewellery, great if you do coasters and trays as well. Even if you do your 3D art, if you use resin to make 3D art, vases, all that kind of stuff. Can't wait to use this more. But absolutely so impressed with the results of these. So all I'm doing here, I'm making sure the surface is completely clean before doing this, by the way, and pouring a little bit into the middle. There are a lot of bubbles because it's very, very thick resin, and when you're mixing it to combine the resin and the hardener, it does put bubbles into it. However, most of them, as you can see, have dissipated. You can apply a little bit of heat. I would recommend using a heat gun, but at a very high, at a big enough distance so that you're just heating things up. You're not moving the resin around. You're just heating it up, encouraging the resin to pop. You can see me, I'm using a little silicone tip tool here just to persuade that resin just to the very outer edges. What I have used, I've got a long necked lighter and it's got a flame on it. You just run that across, not on the surface of the resin. You want to be at least a couple of centimeters or more, 3 or 4 or 5 even centimeters above the top coat of that resin, just applying the heat that way, and you will see the bubbles burst. Now, I did babysit these then. I kept checking on them for the next half an hour to an hour whilst they were curing to make sure that if any little bubbles popped up, I was there and I could get rid of them straight away. But look at these. This is the following day. Look at that. The doming, the glass-like quality of this resin is second to none. Anyway, I've got to stop raving so much about this resin, but I was just really pleased. Now, the reverse side of these, because I'd had to sand them to get rid of the resin that had escaped underneath, I decided to put some of these self-adhesive cork backings to them. So, you know, you do exactly, if you've seen my video last week, you'll have seen me do this. These were the closest size we had to the bases of these coasters. Ideally, you want to get the exact same size as the coaster, but we don't have those, so we're using what we have. We do have much smaller ones of these, but I didn't really want to stick 4, 5 or 6 of them on the base of this. So just trying to line it up as best as I can, and then took off the backing and then basically stuck it down. Applying pressure there as much as possible so that it sticks down firmly, and then this is me doing the rest. Please excuse my blue plaster. I had what you might call a sanding accident. So if you're using sanding machines like the one that we have there, make sure that you wear gloves, decent gloves, and you don't get a little cut like I got. But here they are, look at them, gorgeous. So you can see the different layers of resin. You've got the nice little cork backing there, so you're not going to damage anybody's furniture or your furniture. And here they are in the final shots. Apologies for the light reflections on them, and if you see any reflections of me doing the filming. But yeah, I thought this was quite a nice display at the end here. I really, really like these. Love the effect of the butterflies. They do look a little bit like they're just almost in flight, and mix very nicely with the napkins there, and I just love it. Blues and violets, purples, my favourite colours. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks for liking, sharing, subscribing, and we'll catch you again in a week's time with another one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.